sports all plays. 365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you to the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
All right. Welcome to the ASAP Wrestle Hour. I'm here with Mr. William Morgan. How you doing today, sir?
Doing good. How about you, man?
I'm doing wonderful.
Awesome.
Glad to be a part of this. I am the host of What the Heel, and I am happy to be collaborating with the Wrestle Hour guys today. So, some topics that we wanted to cover. If you watched SummerSlam, Bayley returned, and she had a group of ladies with her, and it's going to be interesting to see how this develops. What did you think about Bayley's return, and what did you think about the faction that she brought with her?
I love seeing Bayley back. She's been gone for a while due to injury, but she is now back. I love the fact that you brought back Loshai. I've never been a big fan of Dakota Kai, but it was good to see her back. And you give her a viable type of something to do with this team. I can really see Loshai and Dakota, and I know that's not her name in the group anymore, but she has a new name for the group. But I can really see those two vying for the women's tag titles, and Bayley, of course, going after Bianca for the women's world championship. So I can really see that happening with those ladies. And if they do happen to get everything, I don't know if they happen to get. I don't know if they're strong. Bayley is, of course, but I don't know if the other two would be interesting tag team champions. I'm not sure.
I think they would be, because it would be a great reintroduction to the women's tag team championships.
Right.
They've been off of TV since May. There was supposed to be a tournament to reintroduce them and crown new tag team champions after Naomi and Sasha kind of left and, did their whole fiasco.
Right.
I think it's interesting bringing Bayley back in this way, because I think it kind of tells you Bayley's not 100%. Because I think if Bayley was 100%, she would jump right in to the title picture, instead of having these ladies come and kind of protect her. But I like it. I think it's interesting. I think it's, Triple H is in control now, and Triple H loves factions.
Yep.
So we're going to see more and more and more of this happen. And like we mentioned just a few minutes ago, with the women's tag team titles coming back, we're going to see more and more tag teams come, because there really aren't any established tag teams in the women's division.
Nope.
So it's going to be interesting to see who comes together. And kind of a follow-up to that is, what's the name of this group going to be? I know Bayley kind of teased Control for the name. Does the name even matter?
It don't matter. It really don't matter.
Yeah.
Because you have three accomplished ladies in the ring that can get it done. The fans know who they are. And while I'm not a fan of Dakota Kai, I know a lot of people who are. So name don't matter. When you have established ladies like that, yeah.
That's kind of where I stand too. I mean, you look back at groups like the Shield. It doesn't matter what they were named. What matters is they added something creatively to the WWE.
Yep.
They were dominant in the WWE. That's what you want a faction to be.
And over like Rover.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, like you said, it doesn't matter what they name it. It doesn't matter if they just say, hey, it's me.
Exactly.
Bailey's famous tagline, it's me.
It's me. As long as the team is viable, that's
Yep.
my thing. As long as the team is viable and can sell T-shirts, it don't matter.
No,
it don't matter.
Now, what do you think about Bailey's group going against possibly Bianca, Sasha Banks, and Naomi?
That would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be cool. I personally would like to see them go against Toxic Attraction with Mandy Rose. That's what I want personally. Well, because I love Mandy and Gigi for other reasons, but we won't go into that here. I think that will be a little bit better because Mandy spent some time on that main roster before she reinvented herself. But if it's Sasha, Bianca, and Naomi, that's fine with me. That would be really good. That would be really good. I'll take either one.
I think it'd be interesting, and I think it would keep Naomi away from the bloodline.
And that's what she needs to stay away from. Keep her away from that. Don't put her involved.
Because the bloodline for me, and this is a whole different topic, but the bloodline for me needs to go. Yeah.
It's ran its course.
And I think, and this also is off topic, but I think Drew McIntyre is the guy to dethrone Roman Reigns. And I predicted and said, look, it's going to happen. It's going to happen at SummerSlam because I thought that Brock and Roman were going to beat the crap out of each other.
Right.
And I thought that Austin was going to come and, cash in, but we saw what happened.
Yeah.
Theory got his head kicked off and didn't cash in. And, Roman buried Brock with the table or pieces of the announced table and won the match by a count of 10.
I just don't. If it's Drew, that's fine. Personally, I think it should be Cody, but Cody's not ready yet. So health-wise, but I think it should be Cody going over Reigns. Because if you have Cody going over Reigns and ending that streak and putting it into the bloodline and winning a championship, can't beat that. And that's a big feather in Cody's cap.
The only thing is, do they want to wait till WrestleMania to take the title off of Roman?
And see, I don't think they do. And that's why I think you might be right about Drew being the guy. Even though he might be a transitional champion and he may have to go against Cody at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they want to wait that long.
But I wonder if Drew's reign would be that long. I mean, I wonder if he wouldn't just be the guy to take the title off of Roman for Theory to come and cash in on.
That's true. Because
the whole reason that I thought Roman would lose the title at SummerSlam is because it wouldn't be a clean win.
Right.
If you look at the scenario, hey, Brock keeps him down for a 10 count, and then Theory comes and cashes in on Brock. Roman doesn't lose his momentum.
Right.
And that's what the WWE is trying to avoid is they've built Roman. I mean, they unified the titles for Roman and for the Usos. They don't want Roman to just go boom, right back down to the bottom.
Right.
So a loss like that, he could come back and say, hey, I didn't really lose. I wasn't pinned. It wasn't a clean loss.
But let me ask you this, though. You think Theory's that guy?
No.
I don't think he is either.
And now that Vince is gone, I kind of wonder if Theory won't be another failed cash in.
I think he will. Because Vince was his boy. Vince was his boy. That's it. Excuse me. He was Vince's guy.
Yeah.
Vince was his daddy. And your daddy ain't here no more. Your daddy ain't here no more. The garden belongs to me now. So, I just don't think he's that guy. He's not ready yet. No. Maybe in a year or two, he might be, but I just don't think he's ready yet.
And do you want Theory as the guy who trumps Brock's record? I mean, he's already the youngest U.S. title holder. He's already the youngest Money in the Bank winner. Do you really want him having that over Brock Lesnar?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Brock is too valuable to that company. Yeah, he's not as much as he used to be with Vince gone, but he's still a valuable piece for that company to help put over storylines.
Yeah, and his contract was, I think, 18 months back last SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
And they're already promoting him for day one, which of course will be January 1st, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of makes me wonder if Brock's just going to be kind of in this limbo, type, because he's expensive.
Right.
I mean,
He's high.
when his music hits, he gets paid millions of dollars.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if he just stands on the stage and jumps around or what the case is. He gets paid
Whatever he
millions of
does.
dollars.
Yep.
And you look back at all the talent that the WWE had to cut because of budgets and stuff like that.
Like
And
Cesaro, who we'll talk about later.
Exactly. And, Bray Wyatt's being teased to come back, but
Mm-hmm.
he probably wants a lot of money too, because he's the whole reason that he's one of the main reasons that the WWE got the Fox deal that they did.
Yep.
So he's going to want bank.
Oh yeah, he's gonna want money. Oh yeah.
So it's these next few months. I mean, I'm looking forward to Survivor Series, because I think Survivor Series is going to really, and this is what it's meant to do, but I think Survivor Series is going to really set up the Royal Rumble and really the future going forward to WrestleMania. I mean, it's going to be Triple H's first true test as a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really interested to see kind of how it goes.
And I think he'll pass that test because he has a good wrestling mind.
Mm-hmm.
He listens to he listens to the fans. Hell, to be honest with you, did any of us see Mandy Rose doing what she's doing now? That's Triple H.
I thought, and I even said on the Money in the Bank watch along that we did, I thought Mandy Rose was on her way to NXT.
Mm-hmm.
And then she won the champion, or won the contract and cashed in that same night.
Yep.
And then she retained against Ronda this last Saturday. So no, I predicted it was going to be Becky Lynch that won the Money in the Bank ladder match. No idea it was going to be Mandy.
Since we talk about Liv Morgan, let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing about Liv Morgan real quick. I get it. That match, first of all, I did not know Liv Morgan was that freaking small. She looks like a freaking mouse.
Yeah.
But Ronda got screwed. Yeah. Because Liv was tapping. She was tapping. Mm-hmm. And I get it, because Ronda is bigger, stronger, faster. No one really sees how Liv could have won that match, but I still think you could have had a better finish to that match. Because right now, with Liv being champion, you have to take the gloves off of her. She's no longer the hunter. She's the hunted. Yeah. And you have to take the gloves off of her at some point and let her, and she needs to get some decisive wins over people. And that wasn't a decisive win over Ronda at all. And they need to fix that. Yes, she may be a transitional, but she still is a champion. She still is the face of the women's division, at least one half of it. You need to give her, she needs to get decisive wins to prove her credibility. If she would have beat Ronda straight up, that would have been huge for her. Just like I said before, when Austin Theory lost to Bobby Lashley, but then got the Money in the Bank, if he would have beat Bobby Lashley, a former world champion, that would have been a huge feather in Theory's cap. But he didn't. So I think that's what they need to do with Liv. Because like I say, man, look, she's cute and all, but at some point, she needs some decisive wins in the ring. And you saw this last match. That wasn't a decisive win. Matter of fact, I thought she was going down to NXT myself, if not out the door. But Yeah, she needs to get some decisive wins if she's going to remain champion.
And I'd love to know whose idea it was to put the championship on her. I mean, I love that it is somebody other than Ronda, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, gals like that.
Yeah.
Because you have such talented women.
You do.
On this roster, on both rosters.
Mm-hmm.
And to cycle the same, 3 or 4 women, over these last 5, 6, 7 years, however long it's been, it gets old. It gets old like the bloodline has.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a breath of fresh air, but at the same time, you're kind of on the edge of your seat going, all right, when's it going to end?
Exactly.
So, who's next? Because the WWE hasn't said how long Ronda is suspended for as of yet that I've seen.
Hashtag free Ronda. She shouldn't have got some, man. Come on, man. That was I get it. You touched a ref, but at the end of the day, it's a ref.
Yeah. Yeah. But I kind of wonder who's next.
Yeah, that's a good point because I saw that. So I saw that somewhere else. If you go back and look at the comments, Ronda gave Triple H the idea to put the belt on Liv. I read that somewhere else before too, which is cool because Ronda sees something in Liv, but still, at some point, you got to start getting some decisive wins. And outside of a tag team match here and there, I haven't seen Liv get any decisive wins.
No, I mean, even before, because you look at how she won the belt in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
She cashed in after, Ronda was injured.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, that's a smart way to do it. But like you said, that's not a decisive win.
No.
That's not coming into a fresh opponent and going, okay, hey, I really did truly win this clean.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
like this. Every wrestler has a decisive match that you could say was your favorite match. Quick, give me a good Liv Morgan match. Don't worry, I'll wait. I'll wait. The Rock, quick, give me a good Rock match. Any Rock versus Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Quick, give me a good Booker T match. Booker versus Chris Benoit in the best of 7. Mm-hmm. Okay. You can't do that for Liv.
No.
And that's what she needs.
And that's why I thought she was on her way to NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I felt like she needed to reinvent herself.
Yep.
And there are so many superstars, main roster superstars, who have went down there and come back and kind of been reinvigorated.
Or you could be like Mandy Rose. Go down, you sucked on the main roster. You were botching. Mm-hmm. You went down to NXT. Look at you now. So shout out to Mandy Rose.
Yeah. I mean, she went from having some kind of weird love affair with Otis to now she's the NXT Women's Champion and part of one of the biggest factions in WWE right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, we kind of alluded to it earlier. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Do you like Ciampa and The Miz together? And what do you like about it?
It's a weird team. It's just weird. But that's what I like about it because you got Ciampa, this physically disciplined guy, ready to come down to the ring to kick ass. And then you got Mr. I'm so fresh and so clean, married to one of the most beautiful women in Miz. It's a weird team. I do like it because of that weirdness. I don't know how successful they'll be, but I do like it because of that weirdness.
Miz does this a lot.
He does.
You look at him and Damien Sandow, who became Damien Mizdow.
Yep.
You look at him and it was Bo Dallas and somebody else who was like the Miz's entourage. Miz does this every once in a while. He tried to do it with Logan Paul.
He did. Yeah.
I just don't. As dominant as Ciampa was in NXT, I don't like feeling like he's getting buried coming to Raw. Now, will he win the U.S. title next week against Bobby Lashley?
Possible.
Maybe, maybe not.
Possible.
But do you bury Bobby Lashley by taking the title off of him like that? Because you look at it, when Bobby doesn't have a title, what does he do? Right. He kind of floats around in these weird storylines, and there doesn't seem to be an end in sight for him.
That's what made me mad when he killed the Hurt Business, because you had something for him to do.
Mm-hmm.
And now with him being a singles competitor, I don't think if he loses to Ciampa, I don't think that hurts him because of who Ciampa is. Mm-hmm. Ciampa is a badass, so I don't think it hurts him, but it just kind of leads him like, okay, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go back to try to be in a world title picture again? You're gonna go try to be a tag team champion? It just leaves him, like you said, in the state of limbo.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think it hurts him. It just messes up his position.
Because, I mean, he had that feud with Omos and MVP for so long, and then that just kind of all of a sudden went away when he won the U.S. title. Yep. And that's what happens with Lashley. He'll be in these big feuds, and then he'll win a title, and then it's just like that feud never existed.
Yeah.
And there's no end to it. But WWE does that. I mean, you look at the storyline that The Miz and John Morrison were in, and then all of a sudden The Miz is in Dancing with the Stars and John Morrison is not in WWE anymore.
Yep.
And it's just like poof, it never happened.
Yep.
So
hell, go back to it where Rey Mysterio lost the world title to John Cena. Rey Mysterio never got his rematch. Got his rematch.
He left the WWE soon after that too, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Because he went to Lucha Underground. After that.
After that part, he never got his rematch back.
Yeah,
I'm getting my rematch. Damn it.
Do you like that? Because I don't know of another company who has like an automatic rematch clause. Because you look at AEW. They really don't, once you lose the title, you go back down to number 5 in the standings.
Yep.
And there's no automatic rematch clause. Do you like that in the WWE?
It's old school. And because they've had it since the beginning of time.
Right.
Go back, way back to the day when Superstars was around. They were doing these rematches on Superstars.
Mm-hmm.
So it's old school. And I really think they need to stop it. Let it be up to that wrestler to build themselves up back to that point. I got an automatic rematch clause in my contract. Well, if that match sucks too, where do you go?
Yeah.
So, they just need to stop it. I hate it.
Because it's in some ways it's kind of a lose-lose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you lose that automatic rematch and you're down at the bottom anyway.
Yep.
And you're possibly getting buried.
Yep. Because you could take 2 losses to the same person. They're both on TV. All the fans see it. So now they're going to look at you. Okay, why should I invest in you emotionally again?
Mm-hmm.
Where? Why? So, that's why I said they need to get rid of it.
Yeah. So we mentioned this a little bit earlier. Claudio, formerly known as Cesaro, was waived by the WWE.
Cesaro.
And after his 90 days were up and a little bit, past that, he comes to Ring of Honor / AEW, and at Death Before Dishonor becomes the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Do you like that?
I think it happened for two reasons. One, to get back at the WWE for what they had. That man was over like Rover and should have been a champion, but Vince said he didn't grab the brass ring.
Yeah.
He didn't grab the brass ring and impress himself to me. But and I think another thing too was the problem you had with the champion. Because as soon as he lost that title, old boy was gone. So I think it's two reasons there. I like the fact that he became a world champion. We'll see how long he keeps it, but I do like the fact that he did something there that he really didn't do in WWE, and just grab a world title.
I loved it for the memes because I saw somebody post a meme. Hey, Vince had Cesaro for 10 years and didn't put a championship on him. Tony Khan has him for 10 minutes and puts a championship on him.
Put a championship on him. Yeah.
So I did love it. It kind of makes me wonder if he was going to win it had Jonathan Gresham not had
that blow up with Tony Khan.
Yeah. And what's crazy about that to me is, Jonathan Gresham said, hey, I'm walking away from wrestling for good, and
he ain't.
This past Saturday, where's he at? He's on the card, the Ric Flair's last match card in a Four Corners match, and he wins the match.
Yep. Plus your wife, Jordan Grace. Your wife ain't gonna let you. Your wife ain't gonna let you quit like that. No. Not like that.
But he looked so unprofessional in that match against Cesaro.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like he didn't know what he was doing.
I don't think he cared.
No.
That might come down to a thing of I just don't give a heck.
Yeah.
For a lack of a stronger word, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through the motions, let this man do what he needs to do, be the champion, then I'm gonna go out the door. My problem with Jonathan Gresham, and my good buddy Josie brought this up to me. He's boring.
Yeah.
Great in the ring. I will give him that. But he's boring. It's not his size that bothers me. Go back and look at him when he talks on the mic. He's boring.
His size bothers me a little bit because he gives up a foot to most competitors. And if you watch that match at Death Before Dishonor, first off, it was hilarious to see the commentator's reaction because I think that was supposed to be the co-main event. And then when all that happened with Tony Khan, they made it the first match of the night. And you got to hear the commentator's true reaction to the change in the card.
Yeah.
And then just to see him walk down and it looked like amateur hour to him. His time in Ring of Honor is over.
Oh, yeah.
But
he burned that bridge.
Yeah. But it makes you wonder, there's rumors of him going to WWE, but will the WWE take him, seeing how unprofessionally he kind of acted upon his exit from Ring of Honor?
And what's that saying? You was only as good as your last match.
Yeah. A brand like Impact would take him, because Impact, because Impact needs, and I've talked about this on What the Hill, Impact needs somebody because you've got a bloodline situation where you've got their championships just kind of, the tag team championships, the Good Brothers had them, Briscoes had them. Briscoes left when Ring of Honor came back and dropped the titles back to the Good Brothers. And, all just this endless, loop. And there's no real competition in Impact.
No.
And so Jonathan Gresham is a good wrestler. And he could go to Impact and probably vie for the World Heavyweight Championship.
He just gotta get better on the mic and be a little bit more personable when he's out there. Cause he's terrible on the mic. He's boring. But he's a damn good wrestler.
Team him up with a manager.
Yeah.
I mean, give him a Don Callis or something.
He needs a mouthpiece, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yep.
Because like you said, he's a great wrestler when he wants to wrestle and when he wants to give his all for a brand.
Yep.
But man, it takes something special, and it takes someone special to have both. It's like a 5-tool player in baseball.
Yep.
When you've got it, you've got it. When you don't, you don't.
How many times have we seen people fail? For example, I'm gonna bring up, and I'm her biggest fan, but and we'll probably get to talk about her a little bit later too. Athena Palmer, how great in the ring, fantastic in the ring. I covered this young lady since she was in ACW. Fantastic in the talent, but the one thing about her that's always been weak, her mic skills. That's the one thing that's always been weak. And some wrestlers can overcome it, i.e. Shelton Benjamin, because Shelton Benjamin's early WWE run, he didn't talk. But when he came back, he was talking. So some wrestlers can overcome it. And that's what Jonathan needs to do. He needs to get better on the mic. Leva Bates is another example who couldn't talk. Went over to Japan, came back, started talking. So it's definitely something that can be overcome.
It is, and I don't know if it's, you have people who are in school. You have people who don't want to give speeches, but they're straight A students. And that's kind of how it is. You look at somebody like Brock Lesnar and his current run without Paul Heyman. He's not great on the mic.
But at least he talks.
Right. And when he talks, he has something interesting to say.
Yep. And this comes from somebody who went on Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast and said, I don't like people. I don't like to hang around people. But you look at him now, he is talking. Not very well, but he's talking. And sometimes he's funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's funny.
And I loved people complained about it, but I loved the tractor at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. You could tell that was a Triple H move too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All day.
So Dynamite just ended, about 30 minutes ago. And one of the matches on Dynamite was Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage. Does that being rekindled excite you?
Not really, because we've seen it before. I mean, granted, it was under the WWE ring, but not really, because it's AEW. AEW is just gonna make you more you, because the way they cut their storylines is the fact that, hey, we're gonna let you have the biggest influence over your storyline and what you do in the ring. So no, it didn't. No, I heard about it and it didn't make me want to. Oh, I gotta go see it.
It was a filler match, if I've ever seen it.
I figured it would be.
Christian got the pinfall, and
then of course they probably called it in the ring. I don't think.
Yeah, and then Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy came to attack Christian Cage. And that, to me, that's getting old.
Yeah. I like Jungle Boy, though. I'll give Jungle Boy props. I like Jungle Boy.
Yeah, he's one of those young guys who you can see being the future of wrestling for years and years to come.
Yeah.
Being the face of AEW for years and years to come.
Yep.
But the question that I have about him is, does he need Luchasaurus to be that, or can he be that on his own? Because we've yet to see him do it on his own.
Yeah.
He's always had somebody holding his hand.
Always being part of a team.
Yeah. And you see this sometimes. You see tag team guys come up with their partner and, hey, they're amazing as a tag team. but it's because their partner elevates them.
Right.
I mean, I think of 3D. Bully Ray had an amazing singles run and is still wrestling as a singles competitor. Devon, not so much.
But, Devon suffered an injury and had to have career-ending surgery. Yeah. But even before then, he wasn't wrestling much. He was doing more being a daddy mentor type of deal and helping Booker T out with his organization. So, yeah, you got a point. Another team you can look at, the Rockers, for example. It was Marty Jannetty that was supposed to be the best one, but when you go back and look at it, it was Shawn Michaels that carried the whole team because of his charisma. He was flamboyant. He was somebody that got the team over. Marty never had that charisma of Shawn Michaels. So when those two teams broke up, you saw Shawn whoop, and where did Marty go? One IC title run, and that's it.
Yep. And that's what I love. I mean, Shawn Michaels is top 5 for me.
Easy.
One of my top 5 favorite wrestlers because he could do both.
Mm-hmm.
He could do, DX, and then he could be in the world title picture.
Yep.
And I look at the Hardys because we're talking about, Christian and Matt Hardy. Jeff was always the guy. Yes, he had more single success throughout his career, but he was always the guy who needed Matt.
Right.
And I hate what happened to him this past time because I thought that the ladder match, the triple threat ladder match that was going to happen was going to give the Hardys the AEW Tag Team Championships.
One last run.
Yeah.
One last run.
And then the Young Bucks wound up winning it. And because Christian Cage was set to turn on Jurassic Express, and then the Young Bucks dropped the tag team titles fairly quickly to Swerve in Your Glory.
I hate the Young Bucks. Hate them.
And kind of speaking of factions, something else that happened on AEW tonight, the Undisputed Elite, which is Red Dragon, Adam Cole, and the Young Bucks. Undisputed, which is Red Dragon and Adam Cole, turned on the Young Bucks.
Oh,
now I've been thinking this was going to happen for a while because there have been rumors that Kenny Omega will return at All Out, and it will be a trios match, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Adam Cole and Red Dragon. But Adam Cole revealed tonight that he's not medically cleared to wrestle still.
Wow.
Him and Kyle O'Reilly both.
Wow.
And the whole preface of them turning on the Young Bucks was, we're not going to allow y'all to go for the trios titles without one of us.
Right.
And so they turned on the Young Bucks, and then Hangman Adam Page comes and kind of keeps them from getting actually injured. These trios championships, I think it's too soon for them in AEW.
I think AEW got a lot of titles, man.
Yeah.
They got a lot of titles.
And the shame of it is you have Pac, who won the All Atlantic Championship back at Forbidden Door.
Yep.
And he hasn't
done anything.
Yeah. He's going all around the world and defending it at other promotions, but it's an AEW belt.
Yep. Not an AEW ain't. Yep.
And so that's the one thing that has bothered me about that.
That's some AJ Styles stuff.
Yeah.
That's what that is from back in his days, the Impact as champion. I'm going to go everywhere else except here and defend it. Okay. Okay.
But the crazy thing is when you hear the commentators talk about it, they make it seem like it's Tony Khan's idea for him to go around to other promotions and to defend the title everywhere else but AEW.
Mm.
And I thought that Pac won the title because he needed a push.
Yeah, he did.
Because you see Death Triangle kind of go downhill.
Yep.
And the Death Triangle would be a great tag team, would be a great trio for the trios title.
Mm-hmm.
But they're nowhere to be found.
Nope.
And then you see what is now Undisputed, because they've split off of the Elite. They're not medically cleared for this tournament, so they're not going to be able to be a part of it. So really you have the House of Black and you have Blackpool Combat Club.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only trio. So why have a tournament?
Why even have the belts at all until everybody comes back healthy?
It's just too soon.
It's too soon.
It's way too soon.
Yeah.
Now
those belts need to be used to put people over, and everybody who you can put over is hurt. So just hold off. When people come back, then go for it.
Well, and something else you could do, because Ring of Honor has a 6-man tag team belt.
Mm-hmm.
Bring some of the Ring of Honor, the Righteous. That's true. Righteous just lost the 6-man tag team belts to Dalton Castle and the boys.
Right.
Bring the Righteous in. I even said before they announced the trios titles that Violent by Design from Impact could come.
That would be cool.
Just
you already got a working relationship with Impact, so that makes perfect sense.
Keep the forbidden door open.
Yep.
I could see parts of the Jericho Appreciation Society kind of teaming up and forming a trio.
That's another thing that need to end. Just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Just my opinion.
But then you look at that and you go, okay, what 3 would it be? Because Jericho's going for the interim title currently.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be him.
Nope.
And you've got 7 other members of the Jericho Appreciation Society. So, what do you do? Rock, paper, scissors and see who gets it?
These things, we defended these things Freebird rules.
If you got more than a trio, they might be.
Might have to.
Yeah.
Let me see here real quick. Question: with Sasha and Naomi coming back to WWE, do y'all think Triple H will bring back the women's tag team champion? And if so, would they put the titles back on them or keep them vacant? And have a tag team tournament like they did in NXT last night? Ooh.
I don't think they're going to place the belts on them because they vacated the belts.
They walked away.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be fair for them to just say, hey, welcome back. Here's your belts back.
Right. This ain't football where you don't lose your starting job to injury. No, this is a whole different situation in this.
And it's not away. And it's not youth league sports where everybody gets a trophy.
Exactly. Exactly. You walked away. Let me see. My boy Tony Hollingsworth. What's up, man? I've noticed, at least in WWE, more specifically, I can't talk tonight. And by the looks of it, AEW, correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like tag teams are dying. They're not as popular, and it's hard to find people that work as a team. Plus, look how they build up factions in both, where you can have 3 or 4 people in a faction, where all can be impactful in the faction or in singles. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
The art to me of tag team wrestling is gone.
Yeah.
When you look at it, you go back to the day, you look at a team like the Rock and Roll Express, you look at a team like the Midnight Express. Those guys did it perfectly. And it's like, it's something that this art can't be duplicated. And I just feel that tag team wrestling is definitely not what it used to be. Definitely not what it used to be.
No, because you had guys that were redefining the wrestling business. When you look back to all the matches that 3D, Christian and Edge and the Hardys had, where they, basically created the TLC match, and now there's a pay-per-view around TLC because of that.
Exactly.
You look at, and one thing that I was excited to see, which I know was probably just a one-off, but the Wolves reunited for one night for Ric Flair's last match. They were on that card against the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yep.
The Wolves to me were tag team wrestling. Motor City Machine Guns, great tag team. Great individually too.
Yep.
So I agree.
I'm not gonna sit here and say tag. I'm not gonna sit here and say tag team wrestling is dead. It's just different. And I get your. Oh, he froze up on us, guys. Come back, Justin. Come back. Come back, Justin. Justin. Come back, my friend. Come back. Oh my goodness, Justin. Come back, sir. Did we lose Justin? You'll let him know. All right, guys. Until we get Justin back, let me go ahead and finish up the. Oh, yep. This computer froze up on him, guys. Let me go back and look at the rest of the topics and kind of give my opinion there. Hopefully, we get Ray in here. He's supposed to be here at some point tonight. Hopefully, we get him in here. Athena Palmer or Athena trying to win the TBS Championship. My thing with that is the fact that, let me see. What's up, Will? Love the show, brother. I definitely get what y'all are saying, though. But art is down, unfortunately. And it's not even like where you have someone like Edge that can be in a tag team with a few people and do great. Exactly. The whole thing with tag team wrestling is dead. If you go back, Harlem Heat, when they came up, when they started going, that was felt like tag teams resurgence. And they put a lot of teams together to try to knock them off. You put Luger and Steen together to try to put more viability within tag team wrestling. And it's just not the same today as it used to be. It's not dead, but it's changed. It's changed a lot. And it's a shame because you don't have a Midnight Express, you don't have a Rock and Roll Express, you don't have a Harlem Heat, you don't have that anymore, and that's a shame. That's a shame. Tag team champions, tag teams are they're not dead, but it's so changed, and it's just not worth it anymore, to be honest. But we'll see. Maybe things, maybe in WWE things might change. With Triple H being in there, maybe they'll change the tag teams on both sides would be better. AEW can stand some improvement on the tag team side. Same thing with Impact too, so we'll see. And being honest, it seems like in 2016 they tried to bring it back. Izzo, Cass, Dudley Boys, Hardys, New Day, even though they're a trio. AOP, yep, that's right. They tried to bring it back, and in 2016, that's when you saw those great tag teams do their thing, but it's not the same. There's no Edge and Christian of today. Like, I hate the Young Bucks. I get it. They were responsible whatnot for keeping it alive, but I just hate them. It's just their gimmick. Yes, I felt the women's tag team fell off once Naomi and Sasha left, which I felt is crazy after they had them as good titles. Yeah. I mean, you can go back. Sasha was a tag team champion like twice. So, with Bayley and now with Naomi. But yeah, it's just dead. Tag team wrestling is dead. Athena Palmer trying to win the TBS Championship. It needs to happen. And I say this, and I say this why. I know there's a lot of Jade fans out there. Look, Jade needs a loss. She needs a loss. She's got this streak going on, and she needs a loss. I think a loss actually helps her because she's stuck with that TBS championship and can't move on to the women's world championship. She can't get that good match with Thunder Rosa. She can't get that good match with Brett Baker because she's stuck with this TBS championship and having to defend it. Plus, there's no shame losing to Athena. Formerly Ember Moon. There's nothing wrong with her losing to Ember Moon in a match. It doesn't make you look bad, doesn't make you look weak. But she does need to lose that TBS championship. She does, because I think now you're finally seeing her not being as green as she once looked. You're seeing better matches out of her. She's actually doing this thing. She's improving as a wrestler. She's improving on the mic, even though she does have a little side piece that can speak for her. But I just think it's time for her to lose that title. I just think it's time for her to lose that title, and that Athena win it, and then she can move on to bigger, better things. Can you imagine if her and Britt Baker got into something? I'm not gonna sit here and say Thunder Rosa, because Thunder Rosa is too small. Her and Nia Rose, there's so many things that you can do with that. So many things you can do with that. Let me check with him and see if he's trying to come back. Okay, he's rebooting now, so he should be back with us momentarily. But I really think that Jade needs to lose the championship to Athena because again, it gives a dig at WWE because you had Ember Moon right there. You had her right there. She was an NXT champion. You had her right there. She was a tag champ, and then you just let her go. Yeah, this would be a huge feather in the cap of Athena. And like I say, it gets Jade out of that TBS championship. Let's see here. What is the next topic we got rolling? Here we go. The new segment will be spotlight. We'll spotlight from Wrestle this week. Will be all right. Okay. Final thing we'll talk about tonight, and like I said, hopefully we can get Justin back. Hopefully Red will chime in. Final wrestling, the final segment for the night. We'll be looking at Andre the Giant. What are some of your big memories, your big thoughts about Andre? I thought Andre really got his due when he fought Hogan for the world title. And I love watching Andre. I really did. Yeah, I know he was big. I know he was stiff, but I think Andre was I think Andre is an all-time great, and he deserves to go down as such. Another comment. Vince mismanaged a lot of those really good NXT stars that built up, like Ember Moon. Honestly, Ciampa to me underutilized because he left Raw and back to NXT and not back to Raw. Many of us NXT, but hopefully Athena gets a good push. I think she will get a good push over in AEW because of the way they do things over there. The talent is more responsible for their storylines than the writers in the back, than their creative team. So I think she'll get a good rub. I think they'll do right by her. Whereas Vince, just wanted to keep her on the sidelines or whatever. I think that she will get a good run. Let's see, anything else? What up? Let me bring up a couple other things that I got on my mind real quick. All this shifting that WB has going on right now in the women's division, there's one person who, a former champion, who seems out of place with nothing to do. What do you guys think they do with Alexa Bliss? What do you think they do with Alexa Bliss? Because while I don't like her, she's stuck in the middle. There's no way for her to go right now. Let me see. I don't think Jade needs to lose the title to get the heavyweight championship. I mean, if she wants to win the heavyweight championship, she can win it and have both and be a Jade 2 belts like Becky was in WWE. My only issue with that is the fact that I don't know if she's ready for all that. I don't know if Jade is ready for that. I don't know if you can, because I'm trying to. Any match that she has, believability has to be a part of it. It has to be a part of it. And right now, if you look at her, she's bigger, stronger, faster than almost every lady in AEW right now. Nyla Rose might be able to give her a run for her money in terms of strength, but believability becomes that factor. And she can crush Thunder Rosa, crush her. Britt Baker, like to see it. Serena Deeb, like to see it. But it'll be one of those two ladies that I think she has to vie for to be believable. She'll just crush Thunder Rosa. She'll crush her. And I know I might be speaking out of turn to all the Thunder Rosa fans out there, but she'll crush Thunder Rosa. She'll crush her. I think they keep her at the tag at the tag title. Maybe they have her back in the title picture when Charlotte comes back or Bray Wyatt comes back, because she still has a part of that character. That's true too. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Bliss. Like I said, I'm no fan of Bliss, but she's also a no man's land right now. So let's see what she does. Let me see what's going on here in the group real quick. See if anybody's coming back. All right, he's still rebooting. So we'll keep the show going. What do you guys think about the overall state of wrestling? And when I mean the overall state of wrestling, if you go back and look at WWE, what do you think about what's going on in WWE right now? Do you guys think Triple H can save it? I'm hoping Randy gets a push again. I feel it would be only appropriate for the Legend Killer to take down Reigns. You know what? You might be right on that. The person I've always thought that should take down Reigns is Cody Rhodes, but Cody Rhodes isn't healthy right now. So if you can get Randy back early enough, yeah, I can see Randy taking him down. Because I can't see anybody else doing it other than Cody. That makes sense. So that'd be interesting. To see. Like I said, I think Cody would be the guy to do it. But if Randy did it and then Randy versus Cody for the title, okay, I'm down. Randy can still go. He just needs to get over this back injury. But I would love to see Randy go ahead and get that win over Roman Reigns. We guys think we get The Rock versus Roman at some point? I'd love to see The Rock versus Roman. I'd love to see that. You can have Roman come in and say, "Your family, but acknowledge me." Getting sick of the bloodline. Getting sick of them. Rock comes in and says, "I'm your better, and I'll prove it." So we can definitely have a Rock versus Roman match. Definitely. I love to see it. I think Triple H already saved WWE with Raw and SummerSlam because the ratings were higher than it's been in decades. I think Triple H will save it if he can do a deal with AEW to have some mixed matches, maybe even AEW versus WWE and a Survivor Series match. We saw it that they let Mickie James with the TNA title come in. That's true. She did. She wore the belt, and the announcers acknowledged her as Impact champion. So yeah, we saw it that they let Mickie James the TNA title come in. So I said they can do that, like the WCW invasion. That'd be awesome. Rock versus Raymond at WrestleMania at some point. Yeah, I see it. Rock's still young. Rock still wants to wrestle, and will have to make sense to come back and wrestle. And I think getting that match with Roman is what the fans want, and I think he'll actually do it. So I can't wait to see that. Big E was in the news saying that if he never recovers from that neck injury, if he never wrestles again, he'll be through with wrestling and he'll be happy. So with that being a possibility of Big E not returning, what do you guys think they do with New Day? Do you think New Day should break up and go about their separate ways? I don't know, because Big E was a big part of that group. And if you don't have Big E, I don't know if you can keep the other two together. So let's say I don't know how that works out. Let me see here. We are at an hour. He's in having to use my phone and AirPods. Okay. Cool. Let me see what we got here. Question: do you think now that Vince is gone, WWE will renegotiate with OVW? You know what? I hope so, because we got so much good talent coming out of OVW. It's a shame. Brock Lesnar came out of OVW. Shelton Benjamin came out of OVW. You had so much good talent come out of OVW. It's a shame that they broke up that agreement. I think they keep New Day. Kofi, we see can have a singles run, but I don't know about Woods. I don't think he's bad, but I don't see him getting a good singles push. Maybe it's like IC champion. Yeah, I can see him as a mid-carder. But I can't see him anything past that point. But I see him as a mid-carder, a real good mid-carder. But getting back on OVW for a minute, yeah, they need to bring that relationship back. Because so much good talent came out of OVW to WWE. It's a damn shame that they killed that. Let's see. Let me look up one more thing, guys. Because again, I cannot. All right, let's see real quick. Is he back? Not yet. Let me ask you guys this. Is Miz a Hall of Famer? Is Miz a WWE Hall of Famer right now? I hope they end New Day never liked their gimmick. I liked it at first when they were doing, the kind of like the preaching thing, but once they started, throwing out flapjacks and things like that, man, not feeling it at all. Cassie Lee looks like she's expecting her first kid. Rashawn Spears, congratulations to them. Anything else going down here? Madison Rayne at her AEW debut. Congratulations to Madison Rayne. He said, hell no. What's your thought on Miz complimenting Logan Paul as one of the more natural talents he's gotten to work with? Honestly, I can see Miz as a Hall of Famer. He did a lot for the IC title. He really did the IC title more of a bigger title than a mid-card title. Yeah, he did. And Miz has been a good hand too. So here's my argument with Miz. Some people say he's not a Hall of Famer. I think he's a Hall of Famer. If you go back and look at other people who's in there, Coco Beware is in the Hall of Fame, and Coco Beware was basically a good hand during his time in WWE. Before he was a Mid-South champion, I give Coco that. But when he got to WWE, he was a hand, and that was it. He put over Honky Tonk Man how many times for the IC title? I was glad to see when he got inducted to the Hall of Fame by Honky Tonk Man, but for the most part, he's just a hand. So if you got Coco Beware in the Hall of Fame, why not Miz? Similar to what Jericho with the IC title, he brought some relevance to it. And I think of a better, pretty much consistent heel that stayed hated as much as the Miz. Yeah, Miz is a really good heel. Really good heel. He's one of the easiest guys to work with too. That's why I take Logan sort of kinda okay. He's good, but look who he was in the ring with. He was with a consummate pro, and being in the ring, a consummate pro is gonna make you look better. What's your thoughts on NJF going to WWE? If WWE pays him more money after this contract ends with AEW, he's gone. He's gone. I really think if WWE offers more money, and with Vince gone, you're looking at Triple H as handling your career talent wise. Oh yeah, I think MGF is gone. I think he's gone. And now what'd be interesting is Miz already retired at this point, because if you bring him in and Miz is still there, Miz is still active, we can have a match. But it depends, because I don't know how much Miz got left in the tank in terms of wrestling. So we'll have to see. Let me see here. All right, my friend. Let me let them know real fast. One second, guys. All right, here we go. So what do you guys think right now is better between these two companies, AEW or Impact? I'm not going to put WWE in there because it's been sort of quote unquote redone. So what do you think looks better right now, AEW or Impact? The one thing I will give the Impact storylines have been better than AEW storylines. I give them that. I think Miz has for a while. Yes, he's wrestled for a while, but Miz does take care of himself, and he's really not had a lot of injuries like some guys. That's true too. Hadn't had a whole lot of injuries. That's true. He hadn't had him on the shelf as much. Oh man, everyone kicked me out of my phone. Let him know. Show, bro. I can't close the show. See Ray's back. I can get Ray here. All right, he's trying to log back in. AEW, Impact to me fell off once they lost AJ Styles, Rude, Sting, etc. Not as many big names in Impact now as it used to be. Then Impact needs to bring back the six-sided ring. That's a good point too. But I know a lot of wrestlers hated that. But yeah, it did. That's something that made Impact unique. Yeah, because I can't close anything. I didn't start the stream, Justin did. So so if you want to come on for a minute, we can talk for a sec, and then we can go ahead and close the show out, Tony. Give me a second. Let me see, take that. All right, just send it to you, buddy. Yeah, if you want to come on for a few minutes, we can talk about a few things. Then we can go ahead and close out the show. What's up, brother?
What up, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Man, wrestling's been crazy.
Yeah,
it's been crazy. Did you see SummerSlam?
I did. I watched a good chunk of it. I didn't get to watch some of the first matches. Like I didn't get to watch Becky versus Bianca, but I did get to see the tag team matchup with Street Profits and the Usos. I thought that was a great matchup.
Yes.
I definitely got to see Bayley come back. I did get to see Liv versus Ronda. It's kind of crazy how they did that. I felt like they did that to not only protect Liv, because they don't want to immediately take the title away from her like that.
Right.
It doesn't really make sense to have her as like a fill-in champion or like a holdover champion until they get like a storyline back.
Right.
I feel like they can ride that for quite a bit. And then, of course, I got to see the Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. I'm not going to lie, man. I thought for sure when Brock had that tractor and he kept like moving it towards the ring, I was like, why doesn't Brock take the tractor? And like, I feel like he's going to knock Reigns out and then he's going to put the tractor on top of him and then he's going to win the belt. Like, I swore, man, it was like when Roman did it with all this stuff, I was like, Brock, what did you do with a tractor? What is this? What is this?
Oh man, but like I said before, my only thing with Liv, she needs some decisive wins. Yes, I think she's a transitional champion. My issue is I think Liv is gonna lose it the next time her and Ronda go at it, because I think that's a definite storyline. And then Ronda wins it again, and then you have her go either against Charlotte, excuse me, or Sasha Banks. That's what I think. Thoughts on that?
I could definitely see it. I could honestly even see them doing kind of like you said, like not Bailey, Liv versus Ronda for a little bit, kind of like a little bit of a back and forth until Charlotte comes back. And then I think they're still going to try to really feed off of that Charlotte versus Ronda storyline, because that's been a big thing for a minute. You know, they haven't really been able to have a full series on it. Like they've only been able to have a couple. And then either Charlotte's out for a little bit because of injury or just being written off for like the wedding because she got married, or Ronda because, you know, she wanted to go out and start a family. So it's like I feel like they would push more towards that. And then kind of like you said, I could definitely see them doing like bringing Sasha into. I could honestly see them putting Bailey into it because Bailey lost it. She got hurt. And so she's been kind of written off. And again, I think they're really trying to feed off of her being a really good female heel.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of continuing to push that too.
You got Justin back.
Hey.
And I think with her being in that faction kind of helps, because now she can kind of have a little bit of history and beef with just about everybody. So the storylines and everything is open at that point to be able to do something.
What do you guys think? Andre the Giant, some of your moments with Andre before we get out of here? Anybody?
So Justin, you want to go first?
Some of your favorite Andre the Giant moments?
I mean, I think the biggest one that stands out to anybody who's a wrestling fan of any age is the match between he and Hulk Hogan.
Yep, that's what I said.
I mean, I'm young. I'm 33, so I wasn't in that. I wasn't watching wrestling in that time, but you know, of course, you see it replayed all the time, over and over and over again. So that's really, and just to hear Ric Flair talk about him in interviews and tell stories about how when they would stay places, when they would stay in hotels, the hotel rooms weren't big enough for him. So like he would go, and this is probably a little too graphic, but he would go to use the bathroom and the toilet wouldn't hold anything. So he would have to use the bathroom in sheets and wrap the sheets up. And so, yeah, I know that has, you know, there's no match precedence to that, but
his size though.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that just makes you go, man, that was a big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm kind of in the same boat as Justin, because I'm only 27, so I was a twinkle in my dad's eye when all this was taking place. And yeah, I think to me it's not only the Hogan versus him match, but just really even how Hogan talked about him. Because if you think about it, the way that they were able to do promos and a lot of these storylines back in the day, it seemed like he and Hogan had actual real life beef. And you come to find out when they've done some of the interviews, it's like, yeah, they kind of did. Like they weren't each other's biggest fans. So it helped make it more natural and make it more feeling. But even after he's passed away, even Hulk has said, hey, he was a great guy to work with, and you think about, especially at the end there, how much pain he was in all the time. He was having to drink all the time. He was having to take, narcotics, and he was still able to do what he did.
Yep.
So, I mean, he all around was just a great wrestler. And again, he did. Big Show kind of put it the best. He paved the way for a lot of these big guy wrestlers, Big Show, Undertaker, Kane, the great Khali, even guys after that, Gigante, all of them. Like he kind of paved that way for, hey, big guys, this is what you can do. and he was just great at it. So yeah, and I think it's awesome how WWE has gone about as far as, you know, the Andre the Giant, you know, Battle Royal, you know, remembering his legacy and honor. So I mean, I definitely agree. He's probably one of the best, you know, wrestlers to ever come through as far as his act, his persona, you know, everything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Most def. All right. Before we get out of here tonight, anything you guys have, you want to get, anything you want to get off your chest, anything you want to go ahead and promote, anything you want to get out there before we roll out for the night? Social media handles, what shows you got coming up?
For me, just, you know, I'm always doing a show 2 hours before this one, What the Heel. It's always 7 p.m. Central Time. What I do is a little bit different than the ASAP Wrestling Hour. I usually will recap shows. So I go from Wednesday to Tuesday and just recap the shows in that past week. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm at DrummerJM7 on Instagram, and that's where I'm most active at.
Okay. Anything from you, Tony? Anything you want to get out there? Your next show, social media, anything like that?
Kind of. I mean, I did my first show in probably 2 weeks, like just a few hours before this with Jawing and Balling. I am going to eventually roll out a college show because I don't feel like college football gets enough love, and I love me some college football.
It don't.
Right, and I'm like, how? It's so good, but I mean, we'll get people there. I don't know when. I don't even know what the name's going to be called. We're going to get there eventually, though. So
Tony's college football show.
Hey, exactly. Hey, if that's what's got to be, it's what's got to be. We'll make it work.
We'll make the thing work, boy.
Hey, and it's going to be even better because I got accepted into one of my favorite colleges that I root for. Well,
wow.
Yeah, I got accepted into 2 of them. I'm going to one of them.
Man, congrats.
I got accepted into Michigan State, and I got accepted into LSU. LSU is the only one that I can do online though, because I got bills to pay. I got a full-time job. If it was 10 years ago, after I graduate high school, I could do that, but I can't do that now. I got adult problems, adult money. I can't go to school full-time. But
adult situations.
Exactly. But yeah.
All right, guys. Justin, you want to go ahead and take us out for the night?
Absolutely, yeah. This has been the ASAP Wrestling Hour. We're on weekly at 9 Central, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. Mm-hmm. So come hang out with us every week. And if you do, we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. Thank you, Will.
Thank you, Justin. Yeah, have a good night.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I guess you need to end it.
I got it.
Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports all plays.